Hey everyone, so it turns out that I'm actually blocked from posting in my own groups, would you believe, by fascist Facebook. I thought I could go live in my community group. Apparently I can't. So I'm going live on my page instead. So yeah, apparently I shared to too many groups my event, and that's a crime on Facebook. So I'm banned for 7 days from sharing in my groups. So if you don't see a post from me in my groups, that's why. And I'll be back on track when I'm out of Facebook jail for being such a criminal. Anyway, so a lot's been coming through for me. A lot of you have witnessed the changes and the growth and the transformation I went through in 2022, particularly the last 3 months, where I basically transformed myself, not just emotionally, not just spiritually, but physically as well. Lost a lot of weight that I was carrying that was tied to being so out of balance in my life, making my business number one, making my clients number one, and making me last. Even my garden took preference over me. So I really had to look at all of that. I had to look at some of my behaviors and some of my attitudes towards myself, towards life, towards this matrix, and change a lot of things. And it's been a gradual process, and a lot of what I post is actually what I'm learning. So there's nobody on here. I was hoping to take some questions and kind of have a conversation about what everyone else experienced in 2022. Anyway, so I'll just go ahead and share. So this is what I got, that 2022 was the year of going in, going inward, going into our cocoons. I posted a meme, well, I actually shared it from Dolores Cannon on my page with a butterfly in a cocoon for 2022, and then a butterfly expanding its wings bursted out of the cocoon in 2023. And that's exactly what I feel has happened for many of us. And if you do happen to catch this live, even if it's after I've done it, pop a comment in, because I can apparently share on my page and I can apparently respond to comments on my page, just not in my groups. So if you experienced that, if you experienced being under immense pressure, that's what I felt in 2022. I felt 2022 was a year of real pressure, of us really looking at some of our thoughts, our beliefs, our feelings, and hopefully the sound is good. I can see you, Kathy. Hello. Can you just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Is that possible? I think that's Kathy. There's a couple of oh, beautiful, sounds good. Okay, so you can watch this back. So basically I'm hopping on live. Hey Julie, how are you? Nice to see you. Hey Jenny, nice to see you. So guys, I'm just going to share some stuff that came through as a download and take questions, have a conversation. Happy to, hi lovely, how are you? Yes, Kathy, I thought I recognized your oh, good. Doing good, Julie. So 2022 was a year of real pressure. I feel like 2022 really was pushing us to have a look at a lot of stuff that was going on in the world. But hi, Jenny. Good to see you here. And also within us. So I feel like 2022 was the opportunity for those who took it to really alchemize a lot of the shadow within us, a lot of the shadow that's coming up around the world. We can't deal with the darkness unless we are willing to have a look at it. So that darkness is within us, because the world simply reflects us, right? And our experiences in the world reflect us. So if we have a lot of self-doubt, guess what? The world's going to give you a lot of doubt reflected back. If we have a lot of anger, the world's going to give us anger. We all know this. If we have a lot of love for ourselves, the world's going to give us a lot of love. So it's really about, I felt 2022 was about cleaning out a lot of this, having a look at how we treat ourselves, and then really just making choices to treat ourselves better, to look after ourselves better, to make ourselves more of a priority, to believe in ourselves more, and to really transcend that negative thought that we've all been programmed with. It's nobody's fault. Every generation programs the next generation. Right, so Julie says, I'm at the stage where I'm not going to put up with anyone else's shit. Right, well, empowerment is a really important thing, right? So what we need to look at is that what's coming from someone else that might be upsetting us is actually their trauma. So that's how we develop some compassion for others, is we're all in a trauma soup, and we're all at different stages, and we're all trying to work it all out. Nobody comes with a recipe for this life. Nobody comes with a manual on how to navigate this matrix, right? We kind of trial and error it, don't we? So a lot of what I've been sharing on my page is a lot of what I'm discovering and what I'm learning and what I'm letting go of. So I hope it's been a contribution to you all. So I feel like 2023 is a year of empowerment, right? So those things that hi Denise, how are you, love? Thank you for hopping on, guys. This is great. I really didn't know how it would go because I'm banned from my groups for being a criminal and posting too many events. So I'm glad to see you all here. So 2023 is what I'm getting is it's the year of instant manifestation. I'm sure you've heard this on many other channels as well. Many other people are sharing this fact. And those who did the internal work in 2022, oh, thanks, Kathy. Love your shares. Thank you. Glad it's a contribution to you. Those who did the internal work and have alchemized and embraced the shadow of us and the world, and we recognize that we create, there's going to be a lot of expansion, a lot of happiness, a lot of creation for you. It doesn't mean that it's too late if you haven't done the work. It just means that because the energies coming in are just being magnified and are increasing, we're going to feel under a lot more pressure to look at what we haven't looked at in 2022. So it's going to manifest in things coming up for you that you thought you dealt with, that maybe there's another layer to it. So that's what I've been shown. Oh, thanks, Julie. Julie and I've known each other since primary school. Thank you. That's so sweet. So basically, what I'm getting is that it's going to be a really powerful year. And if you learn to harness the energies of manifestation, I feel like you can totally transcend your life. That's basically what's happened to me. In 2022, I really went into that cocoon. I really started looking at me. I started looking at all the ways that I sabotage me, that I put me last. And therefore, what the world reflects is how, oh yes, I've got spirit shivers everywhere. There we go. So this must be exactly what I meant to talk about. So the world reflects back to us what we feel inside, right? Because we're a magnetic being. We're an electromagnetic being. We're full of energy. And our energy exudes out from us and we attract like back, okay? So when we don't acknowledge the parts of us that are in the shadow, because we're so programmed to be all love and light, right? And only good. But you know what? We're human. We're having a human experience. So we are here to feel, and we are here to allow energy to move through us. That's how we're built, right? Because energy is infinite, right? So it's constantly moving. And Nikola Tesla talks about this. It cannot be destroyed. It just changes form. So when we work with the energies that are coming up for us, we can actually change their form. So if we're having a lot of self-doubt, if we work on that self-doubt and really help to clear it, we're actually going to change its form and it becomes confidence instead. Does that make sense? Can I get thumbs up if I'm making sense to everyone? So by actually recognizing that we have self-doubt in the first place, one, it brings it to the light. And then two, we can work on it. We can look at it and where does it, thanks Wendy, that's awesome. So look at where does it come from? Are we fearful? Where does that come from? And often it comes from childhood. And again, it's nobody's fault. Generations just pass on what they've been taught. And we are the generation to break all of that. We are the generation to heal ourselves and start to walk in confidence on this planet, right? Start to walk in confidence and start to be our true creator divine selves, our true soul. It's a time, 2023, for allow our soul to shine, right? To come into our power, to take back our power that we've willingly given away because we're programmed to give it away. It's all programming. We're all brainwashed to a certain level. And when we start to undo a lot of the brainwashing and we start to really connect with who we really are, that's our true divine nature. And we created in the image of God, right? Even the Bible tells us the truth about that. So that nature of creation creates all of our experiences. Why? Because we're here to learn, we're here to grow, and we're here to transcend and alchemize the parts of us that haven't come into the light yet, if that makes sense. So the way we do that is, one, we have a look at it. We go within, we actually challenge ourselves to be honest with ourselves, which is painful. Trust me, I've just done it for a year. Oh, it's hard. Because you've got to look at all those, good morning, Moonstone Mystical connections. Nice to see you here. I don't think we've connected in a huge way, but thank you for liking my posts. I do see all that. Thank you so much. So, where was I? Sorry. Just give me that space again. Yes, okay. So, it's within us to have a joyous life. We're designed to come here and to create abundance, create joy, create happiness. And all of that, it basically gets overshadowed by the programming. So at a very young age, often we're just, the programming is just passed along the line. Well, don't do that, or bad girl, good boy. We're constantly being told things like that, which don't necessarily really reflect who we are. It's just a reflection of the behavior we're having at the time that's being judged by somebody else who was judged. Does that make sense? So if we can just forgive generations past for everything that's happened, and we can take back our power and actually go, you know what? I can change my life. I can change my life because this is my opportunity. 2023 is when I transcend all of this. If I haven't looked at it yet, I begin looking at it. And I'm going to change it, and just make that intention. And guess what? The universe just says yes, or God just says yes, or whoever you affiliate with as a higher power, divine soul, just says yes. Okay? So our thoughts, our beliefs, our feelings create, because that's who we are. We're creative beings. That's why they put out so many movies, because when we get into our imagination, we actually create. And what happens when you're a kid? Stop daydreaming. Go and do this. Go and do that. Do. Right? And the whole essence of being is that connection with the soul. It's being still. It's listening inward. It's imagining your life, creating your life, daydreaming about your life, because that's where the power is. Because what we focus on is what we create. And so we're programmed not to do that. We're programmed to do, stay in the action, keep busy. Being busy is heroic, right? How many of us are too busy to sit still with ourselves? And when we start to undo a lot of that programming, which is what I did in 2022, I actually looked at my life, looked at what I created. I created this massive business that keeps me so busy and distracted from being with me. So I started getting up earlier, giving myself an hour or two in the morning. I joined the gym to get myself physically active. I'm blessed with quite a muscular body, which likes to move. And Julie, if you're still here, you know me from high school and all the sports that I used to do. So I've gotten back into movement, and the gym might not be for everyone, but movement is the key, really. And if we can get our heart rates up a bit, even just going for a tiny 2-minute run and then a walk, or just even a trampoline at home or something, getting our heart rates up a little bit, and sweating helps to detox, but it also gets everything flowing around the body, your lymph system, your circulation. You can do floor work if you don't have good knees, if you've got a bad back. There's floor work you can do to help your lymph system and your circulation. There's tons of stuff on YouTube that you can watch. For me, because I've done all this before, because I've had periods in my life where I've been overweight and I've been fit and healthy, and I've been overweight and I've been fit and healthy, and it's just a cyclic thing for me. So I know what to do. I worked in the weight loss industry. I worked in the exercise industry. So you need to get back to the gym. Yeah, that's what I did. Well, last year, last 3 months of the year, and I've just dropped a ton of weight. But the weight also was related to the emotional baggage I was holding on to not loving me, basically, and padding up to protect myself from what was perceived as the world, not treating me so well. But in actual fact, when I really took that time out in the morning, and I realize I'm going all over the place, so please forgive me. When I took that time out in the morning, I actually just sat with myself and I started to look at how I spoke to myself, how I treated myself. What was I being out in the world? How was I functioning out in the world? What was my focus? What was my priority? And breaking all of this down and being clear and honest with myself just showed me where the weaknesses were, where the things that I could work on and change were, that were in my power to change. Great. Moonstone mystical connections, you understand that. So I'm glad I'm making some sense. I hope I'm making some sense for all of you guys. And I'll put this on my YouTube channel. So this is just my journey, my point of view, and I really just want to share my journey this year and getting on lives and talking about what's happening for me. I'm hoping to inspire, support, and uplift everyone on their journey, and to have these kind of conversations we're having through the chat, so that we can all help each other, really, because community and coming together and empowering ourselves to be all we can be is the key. It's the key to a successful, happy, balanced life. Trust me, I've literally changed my life around in ways I never thought possible. So I'm not saying I'm there yet. It's a constant journey. But I just want to share what I've done so far to try and help people. Oh, yes. Oh, well done, Jenny. You've gone inward and you've realised. Yes, yes. We did talk about this when you did the bars class a little bit. So good on you. And that's the key, absolutely. So Jenny's saying she's gone inwards and she realised she's just been too busy trying to make everyone else happy than to make herself happy. Oh, thanks, Wendy. Full moon giving you to clarity as well, Moonstone. Yeah, that's what Jenny was saying. So that's the clarity I'm talking about, ladies, is when you get that clarity, the power comes back to you. Does that make sense? Because you then know what's out of balance in your own life, and you are the one in the driver's seat of your life. So you have the power to change that. So whatever clarity you're getting, this is what I did. So I got my clarity and it keeps coming. I'm still working on it, don't get me wrong. When I got my clarity, the difference for me this time was I actually stepped into action. I actually looked at how out of balance I was. And Jenny, I so much relate to what you're saying. So I was trying to please all my clients, trying to keep my business going, trying to please friendships and circles and everyone, and just putting myself last, and then eating rubbish at the end of the day, sometimes comfort eating, and I stacked on the weight because I wasn't moving. This body of mine I've chosen likes to move. And so I made that commitment of actually going to the gym twice a week because I knew psychologically it would get me up earlier in the morning, which basically emotionally and psychologically, I'm giving myself that time in the morning. Does that make sense? I'm actually allocating that time, no phones, no nothing, no distractions, that time for me. And it built my routine, which means that the treadmill in the garage now gets used and my yoga mats now get used. So I'm actually doing treadmill work and floor work to continue that movement and to get my circulation going early in the morning, to get my lymphatics going early in the morning. And I have to tell you, I have so much more energy from it. And I'm not feeling exhausted at the end of the day, because the other thing is I'm also balancing what I give, right? So, and how much I give and who I give to. Because you know the old saying, casting pearls amongst swine? Sometimes some of us have come through with the archetype of the savior. We want to save everyone and we want to give and help everyone. Not everyone's ready for it. So when we sort of step back and we really get the clarity, the discernment of who is ready to be helped or guided or even share with, compared to who isn't, we don't waste our energy. Does that make sense for all you healers on here? So you will find, even in your client base, as I have, some are super keen for their journey. They're super keen to change, to grow, to become all of who they want to be. And some are just here to feel better, to relax. And I have that discernment now. So I hold space for what everyone's able to connect with, rather than trying to save everyone, because not everyone's ready for saving. Not that we save them anyway, they save themselves. It's just the awareness. You started cycling. Oh, yeah, I know. How good is it? So after the initial getting up for the gym, because I started in the winter months, it was cold, it was dark. It was a challenge. So after the initial challenge of it, I actually look forward to it. And I've just been away to 1770 and Agnes Waters for my birthday for 10 days. And I actually missed the gym. I still did exercise. I still did my floor work on the deck of our little holiday place. And I still went for long walks and a run. It was really hot, so the running was challenging. However, and I got in the sun, that was the other thing. I was really, really white because I was constantly working indoors, either on the computer or with clients. I did not get enough sun, and vitamin D is imperative for the immune system. It's so important for the immune system. It's a pro-hormone and it regulates a lot of our functions in our body. So the sun's been made a bad thing by the establishment. We won't go into that here because this might get shut down. However, it is actually good for us, and it only takes 10 to 20 minutes, depending on your skin type. I'm now quite tan, so it takes me longer to absorb the vitamin D. People with fair skin don't take as long, so probably 10 minutes. So that's not a lot during the day to get out in the sun, get in your garden or lie on the earth, which is what I do, or go for walks on the beach. Bye, Wendy. No worries. I'll put it up on YouTube as well. Thank you so much for joining in. So Sunday mornings, I'm going to do a live. I had plans of doing it in the community group, but it doesn't look like they're going to let me do that. So I'm going to have to go on my page and share it when I get off my ban. So getting back to it, ladies, the clarities come for many of you. So why don't you take some action around your clarity? Because that's what I did. That was my first step, taking action around my clarity. And what you're being shown, we're all unique. So we're being shown different things. I got shown that my body needs to move. I got shown that I need to get in the sun. I got shown that I'm out of balance. So that was my unique awakening from my darkness and the places where I was keeping myself in the dark by not moving, by not giving time to me, by not being in balance and taking care of me first. And so once that darkness came into the light, I had the power to take the action to change it. So by introducing time for myself every morning, by going off to the gym so I could create a pattern where I got up early and gave myself more time, where I created a pattern of moving every second day. I'm not a fanatic. I don't believe in going from one extreme to the other. I believe it's a slow, gradual process. So I started with gym once a week, one morning a week, built it up to 2 mornings a week, and now 4 mornings a week I am moving and exercising, and occasionally a 5th morning if I wake up with that much energy. I also give myself 1 day of social media, Monday. I just don't touch the phone. Sometimes I have to do follow-up, and I'll do that in the morning and then I'll get off. So that's another thing I found really good for my mental health. And Mondays I really love to be in my garden if the opportunity arises and the weather's reasonable. I just find it keeps me present. My garden brings me back into nature. It connects me with all the wildlife. It connects me with all the bees. And it reminds me of how beautiful this place is. And as long as I stay in how beautiful life is and I stay in an attitude of gratitude, my world has just changed dramatically. And things are showing up for me with so much ease. I closed down a class and I've got people asking if I'll open up more spaces. I've never had that happen before, and I believe it's because of the work I've done. I believe it's because I've shifted so much my own self-sabotage. So if I can encourage you, like I said, this is my unique experience, but you've got your unique experience. Whatever it is you're trying to change, whatever it is you're trying to build for you in 2023, can I encourage you to have a look at all those areas within you, within the brain? That's usually the CPU unit. The CPU unit, central processing unit, it regurgitates patterns and programs. So for me, I really had to come out of my brain. I used to be a really heavy thinker and I used to live in my brain, and I really came into my heart and I really started to feel, and I allowed myself to feel more than think. And it's taken time because I was so programmed to live in here, and bars has really helped me with that. I don't make that a secret at all. Access bars once a week. I've had a break now, I think, for 4 weeks, and I'm feeling the difference, but I'm blessed that I run bars for clients, so I'm still shifting whatever I've got in common with my clients. So that has been great for me. Find what's great for you. And I find that as long as I'm clear and I'm functioning with an attitude of having a look at myself, that I'm constantly finding new things I can change, new things I can work on, and my life just keeps getting better. And 2023 is going to be fast, ladies. It's going to be fast. So anything we think about is going to manifest. So that's really why I wanted to start these lives, is I wanted to encourage you to watch your thoughts, watch your feelings and your beliefs, because you're going to create it. It's going to be like that for everyone. So for those of us that really went in and we've identified these areas of self-sabotage, we've identified areas of our life that's out of balance, we've identified things we're still feeling that aren't serving us, we're going to be able to alchemize that. We're going to be able to change it. We're going to be able to transcend it. We're going to be able to create a different life in 2023 for ourselves. And those that didn't do that work and are still blaming the outside world and not seeing that it's simply a reflection, it's going to be a lot harder, because they basically have to start the work. And because the energies coming in are so potent and so strong, and the frequency of the world is rising, you can feel it, it's palpable. It excites me because the frequency is rising, the awareness and consciousness is growing in the world, our own awareness and consciousness is growing. We're being pushed to become more. We're being pushed to become more of our divine nature, our unique nature. We're being pushed to heal. We're being pushed to look at our stuff, which is why 2023 is going to be really confronting for those who haven't looked at it, for those who are still blaming the outside world for what's going on in their lives. The empowerment comes from us taking actual responsibility. So we're responding, realizing the world is actually responding to what we're putting out, what our energy is putting out, if that makes sense. So that's where the power lies. So once you have your clarity, and I know looking at everyone on here from the comments that you've all been working on that, you have your clarity, or you have some clarity now, and things can change for you now, because you can start to really break down, where did that start? And do I really need it anymore? And can I let it go? Am I ready to let that go? And if I sense I'm not ready to let it go, what else can I do? What else can I do? Maybe I can have a session with Beck. Maybe I can have an online session. Maybe I can have a hands-on session. Maybe I can do a meditation. Maybe just ask, what else can I do? What's good for me who is unique in my situation? And you will feel or be guided to the answers. It'll pop up in your Facebook feed, or you'll get an idea, or you'll have a dream, or you'll journal it. Allow that space. That's what I started doing. I started allowing the space to ask the questions. What needs to change in my life? What do I need to look at in my life? What will increase my vibration and my frequency? How can I let go of these patterns and programs? How can I let go of all these old habits that I used to have that diminished me, that made me put on weight, that made me not look after myself? How can I transcend this? How can I alchemize it? How can I look at it, accept that it's part of me? That's another key I found. Until we accept that this is what we do, this is how we treat ourselves, and therefore the world treats us this way, or this is not happening in my life because I'm still doing something I did 20 years ago and I haven't really looked at that and I haven't tried to do something different. So that was all the stuff I was looking at in kind of a nutshell. There was a lot more because it was a whole year of going in. But the real changes started to come in the last 3 months. Once I went to the gym and started to move and started to feel better about myself, started to commit the time to myself, things really, really went fast for me. Everything's changed for me. And people who haven't seen me for ages, I ran into recently, and they just couldn't believe the difference. Clients that haven't come for a while walked into even my clinic space and said, it feels lighter. So can I encourage you to really just empower you? Really just know that you can have anything you want. You're the creator. You just have to get in the space of knowing, feeling, believing you deserve it, and that the universe, remember, just says yes. So it says yes to those thoughts. So anywhere we're willing to compromise, anywhere we're out of balance, the universe is going to say yes to that compromise. It's going to say yes to that out of balance situation. So remember too, though, if we say we are worthy, if we say we deserve, if we say we are empowered and we are the creators, the universe says yes to that too. If we say we want to run, Jenny, thinking of you, we want to run these lives, we want to have people tune in, we want to have people show up to our healing clinic, the universe says yes. So it's about really just getting rid of all the programming, everything that tells you that you're not worthy, everything that tells you that it's not going to happen. And then having the patience, that's the other key. So having the patience to sit and wait, knowing that your frequency, or if it's another person thinking of you, Michelle, knowing your frequency has to match that other person's frequency, or vice versa. Like I've been working on my frequency. So in order for people to align with me and me attract people, they too are on my frequency, or I attract them through my frequency. Does that make sense? So it's all about you looking after you putting you first, you believing in you trusting you trusting the universe that it has your back. You're always safe. Yes, Michelle, yes. So that I'm going to wrap this up. I hope it's been an encouragement to you. I hope it's given you a few little tidbits of gold from my experience over the last 12 months and what I've managed to change. And I will be more organized for the next live next Sunday. So it's going to be every Sunday just because it works for my schedule at 9 a.m. I'm a Sag. I'd like to do it when the download comes, but I realize not everyone could hop on at different times. So I thought if I program it for a Sunday at 9 a.m., everyone knows. Most people don't work. I do. I work weekends, but that's okay. That works for me. So I hope it's been a contribution, and if nothing else, maybe a starting point that you can have a look at and that you can get excited about the changes that might be possible for you in 2023 and the life that's waiting for you if you just allow yourself to say yes to it. Just allow yourself to believe you deserve everything you're desiring and open up your heart. Get out of your mind, get out of the programming, and open up your heart to really feel love for yourself. That is such a key. I, for the first time in my life, discovered love for myself, acceptance for myself. I'm not perfect. I'm never going to be, oh, perfect time for you. Awesome, Michelle. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm on the journey to becoming more my authentic self. If you just think of it that way, take the pressure off. You don't have to be superwoman, superman. You don't have to be a superhero. You don't have to save anyone except yourself. But guess what? When you save yourself, people will notice and they'll want to know what you're doing, and they will hitch their coattails to you to find out, because that's what we're all here for. We're here for expansion of happiness. We're here for joy and abundance, and we're here for a beautiful experience. So may I encourage you to believe you deserve all of that and so much more. So much more. And I'll continue sharing on my page what I'm learning. A lot of my posts are just what I'm learning and what I'm letting go of and what I'm discovering. And I hope it's a contribution to all of you. And I'm looking forward to growing with you, to learning with you, and to transcending this matrix with you, to alchemizing our darkness, and to becoming whole, authentic beings of light. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I just love you all. I've got good spirit shivers everywhere. I just love you all, and I'm getting really emotional now. I just feel so blessed to have such a beautiful community. And thank you for all your support and encouragement throughout the years, but especially last year when I was really doing the boot camp. I was in boot camp with myself. So I can encourage you, if you can see the change in me, and one day I'll make a video of the actual physical change and show you. I did post a Tuesday meme of my fat face from August 2021. So have a look back at that. And my body actually has shape now. I'm not just a blob. So love you all. Have a fantastic Sunday, and thanks so much for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.